You can appreciate. You can appreciate.
Takdir edebilirsin.
Doesn't open in one afternoon. After 1 week it won't open.
Bir hafta sonra açılmıyor.
Will it take care of it often? Will it take care of it often?
Sıklıkla ilgilenecek mi?
Can't invade. Can't invade.
İşgal edemez mi?
Is it pressing every day? Is it pressing every day?
Her gün bastırıyor mu?
They rarely think. The accents don't think.
Aksamlar düşünmezler.
Was my friend a race car driver? Was my friend a race car driver?
Arkadaşım yarış arabası sürücüsü müydü?
Is her brother-in-law the owner? Is her brother-in-law the owner?
Kayınbiraderi ev sahibi mi?
Our sister was a civil engineer. Our sister was a civil engineer.
Ablamız inşaat mühendisiydi.
You will choose monthly. You can choose monthly.
Aylık tercih edebilirsiniz.
He introduces. He introduces.
O tanıştırıyor.
Should I be cold after 1 second? Should I be cold after 1 second?
Bir saniye sonra üşümeli miyim?
They wouldn't cook it every year. They wouldn't cook it every year.
Her yıl pişirmezlerdi.
Is her stepmother a surrogate? Is her stepmother a surrogate?
Üvey annesi vekil mi?
Can't we support for one afternoon? Can't we support after one birth?
Bir doğumdan sonra destek olamaz mıyız?
Are you riding in 5 years? Are you riding in 5 years?
5 yıl sonra mı biniyorsun?
Not wearing. Not wearing.
Giymiyor.
Her brother-in-law is an insurer. Her brother-in-law is an insurer.
Kayınbiraderi sigortacıdır.
I do not specify. I do not specify.
Belirtmem.
I would not base. I would not base.
Baz almazdım.
They should remember. They should remember.
Hatırlamalıdırlar.
I was a rider back then. I was riding back then.
Ben o zamanlar biniyordum.
His half-sister is the referee. His half-sister is the referee.
Üvey kız kardeşi hakemdir.
Can it sit for 10 years? Can the year sit on it?
Yıl üzerine oturabilir mi?
Wasn't I a rower 3 days ago? 3 days ago rower not spreading?
3 gün önce kürekçi yayılmıyor mu?
You were always the answer. You were always the answer.
Hep cevap oldun.
Our friend was an educator. Our friend was an educator.
Arkadaşımız eğitimciydi.
Can arrest. Can arrest.
Tutuklayabilir.
Don't we throw tiles every week? Don't they throw tiles every week?
Her hafta kiremit atmıyorlar mı?
My stepdaughter was a financier. His step network was financiers.
Üvey ağı finansçıydı.
Did it rain? Did it rain?
Yağdı mı?
We can't usually be broken. We can't usually leak.
Genellikle sızmayabiliriz.
I'm not included. I'm not included.
Dahil değilim.
Shouldn't you be hurt? Shouldn't you be hurt?
Yaralanmamalı mısın?
Kicks every day. Kicks every day.
Her gün bir tekme atıyor.
My son was a ballerina. She was a ballerina.
Balerindi.
Is our sister an apprentice? Is our sister an apprentice?
Ablamız çırak mı?
His stepmother was a stockbroker. His stepmother was a stockbroker.
Üvey annesi borsacıydı.
Shouldn't it be closer in 2 weeks? Shouldn't it be closer in 2 weeks?
2 hafta sonra yaklaşması gerekmiyor mu?
Is his half-sister a lawyer? Is his half-sister a lawyer?
Üvey kız kardeşi avukat mı?
Is her mother-in-law a reporter? Is her mother-in-law a contact?
Kayınvalidesi muhatap mı?
Then one can decide at midnight. Then one can decide at midnight.
Daha sonra bir gece yarısı karar verebilir.
Won't you hunt at dawn? Won't you hunt at dawn?
Şafakta avlanmayacak mısınız?
It will not be renewed after 4 centuries. It will not be renewed after 4 centuries.
4 asır sonra yenilenmeyecek.
Am I the referee every day? Am I the referee every day?
Ben her gün hakem miyim?
Does he forget at dawn? Does he forget at dawn?
Şafakta unutur mu?
My son was a hydrologist. Was a hydrologist.
Hidrologdu.
Why not monthly? Why not monthly?
Aylık neden olamaz mı?
1 month ago can I command? 1 month ago can I command?
Bir ay önce komutanlık yapabilir miyim?
I could come. I could be.
Olabilirdim.
We write. We write.
Biz yazarız.
Must lose. Must lose.
Kaybetmesi gerekir.
Can't you run? Can't you run?
Koşamaz mısın?
Your grandfather is a mechanic. Your grandfather is a mechanic.
Senin deden tamirci.
Didn't he pay? Didn't he pay?
Ödemedi mi?
I'm a sunrise hydrologist. I'm a sunrise hydrologist.
Ben gün doğumunda hidrolog.
Is his nephew a shop assistant? Is his nephew a shop assistant?
Yeğeni tezgahtar mı?
Is your brother-in-law a painter? Is your brother-in-law a painter?
Kayınbiraderiniz ressam mı?
They went to rest. They went to rest.
Dinlenmeye çekildiler.
Can we get to class in an hour? Can we get to class in an hour?
1 saat sonra derse girer miyiz?
We can usually say. Usually can.
Genellikle yapabilir.
Is my grandson a translator? Is my grandson a translator?
Torunum tercüman mı?
Bartending 3 months later? Bartending 3 months later?
3 ay sonra barmenlik mi yaptı?
After 2 weeks I wouldn't force it. After 2 weeks I wouldn't force it.
2 hafta sonra zorlamazdım.
Was my grandfather a jockey? Grandpa a joke?
Dedem şakası mı?
I will behave. I will behave.
Davranacağım.
Are they commanding after 4 centuries? Are they commanding after 4 centuries?
4 asır sonra mı komuta ediyorlar?
Didn't pay. Didn't pay.
Ödemedi.
Won't you buy? Don't you buy?
Satın almıyor musunuz?
Your mother-in-law is a travel agency. Your mother-in-law is a travel agency.
Kayınvalideniz seyahat acentesidir.
Don't we believe? Don't we believe?
İnanmaz mıyız?
Can you forget? Not misunderstood?
Yanlış anlaşılmaz mı?
Will I ask after 4 nights? Will I ask after 4 nights?
4 gece sonra soracak mıyım?
I do not continue. I do not continue.
Devam etmiyorum.
His neighbor was a welder. His neighbor was a welder.
Komşusu kaynakçıydı.
Experience isn't it? Experience isn't it?
Deneyim değil mi?
Was to meet. Was to meet.
Tanışmak mıydı?
Isn't he always a philosopher? Isn't he always a philosopher?
Her zaman filozof değil mi?
Could not give weekly. Could not give weekly.
Haftalık veremezdi.
Can it wash? Can I wash it?
Yıkayabilir miyim?
It will not cook. It will not cook.
Pişmeyecek.
Did they stretch? Did they stretch?
Uzandılar mı?
Should you be an athlete every day? Should you be an athlete every day?
Her gün atlet yapmalı mı?
Was my father an environmentalist? Is my father environmentalist barren?
Babam çevreci kısır.
Don't I show up late at 3 in the morning? Do I pass at 3 in the morning?
Sabahın 3'ünde geçiyoruz muyum?
I could work. I succeeded.
Başarabildim.
Couldn't they analyze 3 weeks ago? Can't they get analysis 3 weeks ago?
3 hafta önce analiz alamazlar mı?
Why wouldn't it? Why not go?
Neden gitmez?
I am a monthly playwright. I am a monthly playwright.
Her ay oyun yazarıyım.
Must hate the moon. The moon must be hated.
Aydan nefret edilmeli.
Won't it make monthly calls? Won't it make monthly calls?
Aylık arama yapmayacak mı?
Would it have passed? Will you pass?
Geçmiş olur musun?
Shouldn't it be connected? Should it be connected?
Bağlanmalı mı?
Should not be connected. Should hold.
Tutunmalıdır.
Were his parents overseers? Private security guards?
Özel güvenlik görevlileri.
Weren't you a team? Not team interference.
Takım interferansı değil.
Is her mother a bus driver? Is her mother a bus driver?
Annesi otobüs şoförü mü?
Can't they be bounty hunters every year? Can't they be bounty hunters every year?
Her yıl kelle avcısı olamazlar mı?
We can go to the notary at 3 p.m. After the age of 3, you can write notes.
3 yaşından sonra nota yazabilirsiniz.
My husband is an ironer. My husband is an ironer.
Kocam ütücü.
They must persuade. They will try to persuade.
İkna etmeye çalışacaklar.
Is your nephew a barber? Is your nephew a barber?
Yeğeniniz berber mi?
Can it help? Can it help?
Yardımcı olabilir mi?
His father was a librarian. The heir was the library.
Mirasçı kütüphaneydi.
Weren't we financiers before at 5 a.m.? Before 5 at midnight financier not generalization?
Daha önce gece yarısı 5'te finansör değil genelleme.
Does he never question? Does he never question?
O asla sorgulamaz mı?
It was connecting now. It was connecting now.
Şimdi bağlanıyordu.
Is that sign? Or sign?
Veya işaret mi?
Are there stepmothers opticians? Are there stepmothers opticians?
Üvey anneleri gözlükçü mü?
We cannot mix. We cannot mix.
Karıştıramayız.
I shouldn't follow. I shouldn't follow.
Takip etmemeliyim.
Wouldn't it add at dawn? Doesn't it add dawn?
Şafak vakti eklemez.
Do you have to run? Do you have to run?
Koşmak zorunda mısın?
Weren't we just apprentices? Weren't we just apprentices?
Hemen çırak değil miydik?
Is our daughter a butler? Is our daughter a butler?
Kızımız uşak mı?
Wouldn't he want it then? Wouldn't he want it then?
O zaman istemeyebilir mi?
They were not wanted last year. They were not wanted last year.
Geçen yıl aranmıyorlardı.
Were his brothers cops? Police buildings?
Polis binaları.
They should soon become air traffic controllers. They should soon become air traffic controllers.
Yakında hava trafik kontrolörü olmalılar.
Daily design will not do. Daily design will not do.
Günlük tasarım yapmayacak.
Is his father a bellboy? Is his father a bellboy?
Babası bellboy mu?
Will I weld occasionally? Will I weld occasionally?
Ara sıra kaynak yapacak mıyım?
Not immersed. Not immersed.
Dalmış değil.
Can't we stretch? Can't we stretch?
Uzanamaz mıyız?
You didn't answer at 5 o'clock the previous evening. You have no answers at 5 p.m. the previous evening.
Önceki akşam 5'te cevapların yok.
We fail. We fail.
Başarısız oluyoruz.
Can't you reduce? Can't you reduce?
Azaltamaz mısın?
Couldn't he show? Can't show?
Gösteremez.
Were his cousins cops? Cousins police cage?
Kuzenleri polis kafesi.
You can sing a century later. Let's not talk a song after a century.
Bir asır sonra şarkı konuşmaksın.
Should they listen? Should they listen?
Dinlemeliler mi?
Can you give permission? Can you give permission?
İzin verebilir mi?
Should continue. Continue.
Devam ettirin.
Were there kids firefighters? Kids fireman's cage?
Çocukları itfaiyeci kafesi.
Was your half-brother an inspector? Was your half-brother an inspector?
Üvey kardeşin müfettiş miydi?
Are our cousins carpenters? Are our cousins carpenters?
Kuzenlerimiz marangoz mu?
You can't usually kill. You can't usually kill.
Genellikle öldüremezsin.
Can't make a weekly cream? Can't make a weekly cream?
Haftalık krem yapamaz mı?
Will not be suitable. Will not be suitable.
Uygun olmayacak.
His uncle was a teacher. His uncle was a teacher.
Amcası öğretmendi.
Your friend is the manager. Friend's manager.
Arkadaşın müdürü.
Then at 3 in the morning we can get hurt. Then at 3 in the morning we can get hurt.
Daha sonra sabah 3'te canımız yanabilir.
Your grandmother was a neurologist. Your grandmother was a neurologist.
Büyükannen nörologdu.
It has to climb. It has to climb.
Tırmanması gerekiyor.
Can you be a monk every day? Can you be a monk every day?
Her gün keşiş olabilir mi?
Should he do 2 landscaping in the afternoon? Should he do 2 landscaping in the afternoon?
Öğleden sonra 2 peyzaj düzenlemesi yapmalı mı?
He is married. He is developing.
O gelişiyor.
I am acrobat. I am acrobat.
Ben akrobat.
Should they talk? Speakers?
Konuşmacılar mı?
Siblings are pathologists. Patients are pathologists.
Hastalar patolog.
We shouldn't be aviators at sunset. We must be aviators at sunset.
Gün batımında havacı olmalıyız.
I won't cost every week. I won't cost every week.
Her haftaya mal olmayacağım.
I can't have a funeral every week. I can't have a funeral every week.
Her hafta cenaze kaldıramam.
Wouldn't you design? Do you design?
Tasarlıyor musunuz?
Couldn't she get dressed? Can't dress?
Giyinemez.
Shouldn't I mix? Should I mix?
Karıştırmalı mıyım?
They will not weld at dusk. They will not weld at dusk.
Alacakaranlıkta kaynak yapmayacaklar.
Will you be a songwriter later? Will you be a songwriter later?
Daha sonra söz yazarı olacak mısın?
After 3 months, he should not be a shoemaker. After 3 months, the shoemaker should pass.
3 ay sonra kunduracı geçmesi gerekiyor.
Was not suspicious. It wasn't suspicious.
Şüpheli değildi.
Would the noon make noise? Does it reveal the noon voice?
Öğlen sesini ortaya çıkarır mı?
Then at 4 a.m. he should have intercourse. Then at 4 a.m. he should have intercourse.
Daha sonra gece yarısı 4'te ilişki kurmalı.
We cannot lay tiles immediately. We cannot lay tiles immediately.
Hemen kiremit döşeyemeyiz.
May ask next year. I can inquire next year.
Gelecek yıl sorgulayabilirim.
Then it shouldn't start. Then it should start.
O zaman başlamalı.
My children are mediators. My children are mediators.
Çocuklarım arabulucu.
Does my grandma draw? Does my grandma draw?
Büyükannem çizer mi?
Does he judge? Is he on trial?
Yargılanıyor mu?
Do you draw? Do you draw?
Sen çiz.
Can't I compare? Can't I compare?
Karşılaştıramaz mıyım?
His family is a pilot. Pilot family.
Pilot ailesi.
Will I not borrow? Will I not be accepted?
Kabullenmeyecek miyim?
His brother-in-law was an assistant. His brother-in-law was an assistant.
Kayınbiraderi asistandı.
Will it encourage? Will it encourage?
Teşvik mi edecek?
Will there be a night watchman? Will there be a night watchman?
Gece bekçisi olur mu?
Your nephew is the waiter. Nephew's waiter.
Yeğenin garsonu.
Niece editor. Niece editor.
Yeğeni editörü.
Will they not burn? Will they not burn?
Yanmayacaklar mı?
Don't they see at dawn? Do they see at dawn?
Şafakta görüyorlar mı?
We became urologists one night ago. We became urologists one night ago.
Bir gece önce ürolog olduk.
Shouldn't there be a philosopher every week? Shouldn't there be a philosopher every week?
Her hafta filozof olması gerekmez mi?
Was her niece an actress? Nephew cast?
Yeğeni oyuncu kadrosu.
Doesn't it sit after a night? Doesn't it sit after a night?
Bir gece sonra oturmuyor mu?
Was your father an actor? Is your dad a gamer?
Baban oyuncuları mı?
Was your half-sister a researcher? Your half-sister's investigator?
Üvey kardeşin araştırmacısı.
Isn't he always a philosopher? Isn't he always a philosopher?
Her zaman filozof değil mi?
Separate. Separate.
Ayrı.
You didn't believe every day. You didn't believe in his day.
Onun gününe inanmadın.
Are their grandchildren the receptionists? Are their grandchildren the receptionists?
Torunları resepsiyonist mi?
Can he use the afternoon? Can I use the afternoon?
Öğleden sonra faydalanabilir miyim?
Were his colleagues landscape architects? Colleagues landscape architect?
Meslektaşları peyzaj mimarı.
Will he? Will he?
Yapacak mı?
His grandmother is a comedian. Grandma comedian.
Büyükanne komedyen.
They can give private lessons for 15 days. They can give private lessons for 15 days.
15 gün özel dersler verebilirler.
Is your stepmother a counselor? Is your stepmother a counselor?
Üvey annen danışman mı?
Does it always load? Does it always load?
Her zaman mı yüklüyor?
Shouldn't he invent every day? Shouldn't he invent every day?
Her gün icat etmesi gerekmez mi?
I am not support. I am not support.
Destek değilim.
Didn't we collect last year? Carry as soon as you collect last year?
Geçen yıl toplamaz taşımak mı?